Hey everybody, welcome to another year of Sundance, the 2023 edition. We are here in Park City and we're going to be bringing you the latest coverage that we can from all of the films that are going to be premiering here. So stay tuned for more from Breezeway Productions. Thanks for watching. Speaking with
Matthieu Rytz.
Nice to meet you, sir. Tell me a little bit about the film that you have in the festival this year.
So I have Deep Rising. It's a film about the deep seabed mining.
Tell me about how you got involved with this project.
So in 2018, someone came to me with a deep ocean polymetallic nodules, which is full of cobalt and nickel, and was telling me the story that in order to move away from fossil fuel, we need to start mining those deep sea nodules from the seafloor, and really trigger my curiosity first, and then I realized that was a very big story, and kind of opening up this Pandora box.
Are there companies that are already starting this endeavor and doing things on the seafloor?
They're in exploration, meaning they try to find a way to do it, and they're testing technologies, but they haven't started full-on mining yet.
Okay. Tell me about the people that are involved in the documentary that you were interviewing.
There's no interview, it's character-driven.
Oh, it's character-driven.
Yeah, so I have two characters, basically.
Can you tell me about the characters?
So it's Sandor Muslow, who is actually here, you're going to have him in a second, and a miner, actually, called Gerald Barron. So he's the head of a big mining company, a deep sea bed mining company.
What do you hope that audiences can take away after they've seen the picture?
I mean, first I want to move the audience. It's cinema. It's the impact campaign and all the different aspects of it will come after. But for now it's cinema. So my biggest aim is to get to an emotional level with people, so they move and they really start thinking and reflecting.
In closing, is there anything you'd like to say to the Sundance Film Festival for the official selection?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad to be back, and I think based on the experience I had in 2018, it's such a launchpad. Really, I mean, it makes a huge difference for a filmmaker. Not so much for the prestige. I don't really, it's not really about being well recognized as a filmmaker. It's really about doing the impact I can do with a story, such an important story.
Well, speaking with
Sandor Muslow from Chile, Universidad Austral de Chile, Marine Biologist.
Nice to meet you, sir. Tell me about your involvement in this project.
I am the scientist of the movie. So I am telling the story from my point of view as a scientist. What do we know? What are the facts? And are we ready or not ready, scientifically speaking, to intervene the most pristine and long environment of the planet, which is the source of where we are alive. Right? We have not found any other planet in similar conditions. Probably there is none. Yeah. Our planet is 4.9 billion years old. Yes. How come in 4.9 billion years old, nobody from the universe came to visit us?
Well, I mean...
The probability is telling me it should be, but we don't. Why? Because our planet has a very narrow space environmentally to sustain life. And one species of the five kingdoms of this planet is doing it. We need to stop. We need to think.
Yeah. What do you think needs to happen in order for this process to be reversed and that we can save the planet in this regard?
To take conscious why in this planet there is life. And there is life in this planet only for one reason. We have seawater. Water is 70% of the total area. But when you consider the volume of that 70% compared to the volume of our planet, is 1 to 1,000. So 1 liter of seawater for 1,000 liters of earth. Yeah. So it is very small and very fragile. And we never realize that. I was just talking to somebody. Yeah. It takes 50 years for the deep sea to react what we do in the atmosphere. 50 years later, we found out that the pH, oxygen, and carbon were changing in the seafloor in the Clarion-Clipperton zone. So whatever we do now, it will take 50 years for the ocean to react. Right. We need to stop now. We need to do something else. We need to be more smart. We need to be intelligent to do this.
How dire is this situation currently?
Right now, there is a company, the metal company, he was granted very dubiously a permission to extract nearly 3,000 tons of nodules. Yeah. I've seen the pictures of how the ground it gets destroyed, and I know there is a study done in Disco, another part of the Pacific, where after 27 years later, the impact that they did on the bottom is still the same, and there is no recovery.
Oh wow!
So, are we going to allow this? No. The mission of this movie, it has a very strong mission. Everybody should learn. Everybody should read the Convention of the Law of the Sea. I dare you to ask anywhere in anywhere you go as a journalist, ask in the audience, said, how many know what the Convention of the Lower Sea? Have you seen it? I can guarantee you, very few people, very few people. And that one is the only instrument we have to protect the area, which is that part of the ocean which doesn't belong to any country.
I think all of this is fascinating, and in closing, is there anything you'd like to say to the Sundance Film Festival for the selection?
I think I would like to see to the Sundance that to thank for giving us the opportunity to use this platform to spread the word that we have one planet, we have no other one to play with. We cannot even do an experiment because we cannot compare with anyone. Yeah. And to go and look Mars and other is stupid.
Was it for you something important? Is that why you decided that you wanted to?
I mean, I've been doing it my whole life where I've just been completely involved into the ocean, being Hawaiian, growing up in it, wanting to do marine biology, now being able to talk to scientists, being able to put these films on a platform, being able to spread out to the world. I can't believe it's at Sundance. It's very important. Using your power for good. It's all the things I'm passionate about. It's not like my profession, it's my passion.
I've seen the movie and it's really very impressive.
Just
and
makes it sizzly, right?
I felt that you were emotional at some point when you were doing the narration. You were like overwhelmed sometimes by what you were.
There's moments where I cried and got emotional doing it because I just, as a father, as a just empathy for the world. It's going like, what the fuck are we doing? And you know, it's sad. And wanting to, I'm going to be affected by it. And so like while we're reading these things off and you're seeing the beauty of our world, it's just kind of sad. So I've seen it 4 times now. I'm going to try to watch it tonight. I might walk out and just like, I'm good in front of an audience, but it's just what good cinema is supposed to be like. It's just you're supposed to question things. You're supposed to sit down, have breakfast, talk about stuff, and go like, we need to rethink everything. And where you think like you're doing the right thing by just getting a car and doing this, it's like it's not. Like, how was it made? How was this? And we want to do good. The anxiety of like just like wanting to be better and try to save our planet, and just how we can be fooled, and just trying to shine a light on certain things. So.
Sometimes are really hurting things as well at the same time, like those 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of mentality.
Fucked?
Yeah,
it's like the best way I can describe it. Where you go, you know, personally I have my own, I try to do the best I can, and then you go like, well, I have these guilty pleasures. There's these things that I enjoy in my life, and then when you try to switch those things over and then you find out that those things are fueled and extracted from coal and everything, it becomes very disheartening, and I just think it's important for these things to be to shine a light on, because I think a lot of people are trying to do good and can be brainwashed into something that just isn't quite right. And I think there's a lot of other solutions, and I think it's the same thing happening with the oil companies. That's just switching over to something else and extracting, and we're just doing the same thing, but it doesn't have to be that way. So it's good just to get knowledge. I'm just here to like shine a light with all these scientists and Matthieu and wonderful filmmakers. And
well, haven't seen your social media. We see that everyone's family in some way. If you were to look at the people out there, it's just like they were children almost. What would you say to them to start making differences? What should they do? Those little steps or the big steps?
I mean, just be curious. I mean, that's what I'm doing. You know, just be curious. Don't be fooled, and go out and find the answers behind it. And I'm just curious. That's it. And I want to know what I'm putting into, how I'm affecting the world. Just be curious, I think, and don't just like settle. So
one last
some answers.
Quick question is, you know, everyone makes mistakes, but as long as you keep doing good. I mean, you still want to do great too, but of course everyone makes like unintended consequences, right?
Course. Yeah, of course.
So is that something you want people to know, that you can still do better tomorrow and do better every day?
Absolutely. Every day. Every day you can do better, yeah.